All right, I want to make a quick video for Respondus Lockdown Browser and how this works with Ultra. If you have never used Blackboard Ultra and Respondus together before, there's some hoops you got to jump through. It's not bad, and I've tried to set it up so that it kind of makes sense, but I do want to let you kind of see how this looks. Okay? All right, so I've got a practice exam. That's the folder that you're in right now. In the start here and scroll down a little bit where it says Respondus practice exam. All right, so the video you're watching was up top right here. I've got some other instructions down below that, but I want to make sure that you have, number one, you have to install Respondus Lockdown Browser. So there's the link to do that. Just a heads up, when you try to download this, it's going to say Wallace State. That's fine. I don't know why it does that. It's a weird hiccup with the system, but that's the one you actually need to download, so don't let that scare you. All right, so you download Respondus Lockdown Browser. Here's where it gets different. If you've used Respondus before in a other regular Blackboard class, you would open up Respondus just like a regular browser, like Firefox or Chrome or anything like that. You don't have to do that with Ultra. That sounds good, but here's where the hiccups come in. What you're going to do, all right, if you clicked on the exam and tried to take it right now, I want you to notice at the very top that we are in Gadsden State's Blackboard. And for some reason, Respondus doesn't like to play nice with Gadsden State's Blackboard, so if you try to open up that test, it's going to look like everything's okay. You're going to click Start Attempt. It's going to tell you everything is normal. You're going to choose Lockdown Browser. And then when you try to take it, here's where the hiccup is going to happen. Whenever it decides to open. There we go. All right, it is going to say no servers found that match this institution. All right, sorry, just make sure it was still recording. All right, so there's where the problem is. For some reason, Respondus will not acknowledge Gadsden State's Blackboard. I'm sorry you have to do this. It's not a hard step, but it's something we're going to have to do every time. So what I've done, whenever we have a test in this class, I'm going to have a link to ACCS Blackboard. This is like the state, Alabama Community College System, their version of Blackboard, and it's the same as ours. It's just going to look a little bit different. So what you're going to need to do, and it's got instructions here, you need to use this to access the exam. You're going to click on this link. It's going to take you to a Blackboard login page, and you are going to choose sign in with third-party account, and then the only option will be one ACCS. Okay, so when I click there, this is going to take you to, this is going to look a lot like when you try to get on Banner. Your username is going to be your A number at gadsdenstate.edu, so your student email. Your password is going to be whatever you use to get into My Gadsden State. It's going to look different. It's Blackboard, but it's going to look red instead. So once you get into, here's the community college's version of Blackboard. Go to Courses, go to our class, the Biology 103. Put it in Student Preview, so this is what it's going to look like to you. And now, again, I'm sorry having to go through these steps. This is something they're trying to fix, so maybe like halfway through the semester we won't have to do all this anymore. But once you are on accs.blackboard.com, once you click on that link and you sign in, you're going to be able to go to the test, open the exam, and now it may mess me up because I'm trying to record this, but now it should open up the test. Okay, so it's going to auto launch Blackboard for you, or sorry, auto launch Lockdown Browser for you. Okay, all right, it's not going to let me record because of the screen recorder that I'm using. I thought it might do that. So I'm sorry, I'm 100% positive there's a better way to do this, but honestly, I'm so tired right now, I'm not going to figure out what it is. Let me show you what it looks like when you try to take exams. I know you can't see that too great, but that's fine. We're just doing an example right now. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go in and take the practice exam. I have to go through that step to go to accs.blackboard. All right, I'm in. So remember, you're going to do these steps too. You're going to log into our Blackboard course. And then find the exam. Okay, it gives you all the information. For this practice exam, I know I mentioned this in our announcements, you don't have to study for this. They're going to be very simple questions like, what year is it and how many letters are in the word biology? So I think you can handle those. All right, so we're going to launch Lockdown Browser. It's going to take us through a startup sequence to begin with. So you have to agree to the terms of service. It might even make you scroll down to the bottom before you can do that. Checking our internet, making sure we're okay. All right, now here's the steps. First off is a webcam check. Okay, all right, so webcam's working. We're good. Record a video just to make sure this works. All right, so testing 1, 2, 3. Everything is good. We're going to play back that video just to make sure that everything's still all right. All right, so testing 1, 2, 3. Everything is good. All right, we're just going through the steps. Read these instructions, especially the additional instructions. This is the part where a lot of students can get kind of messed up with. So it says during the exam, you cannot access outside resources like your phone, tablets, notes. If you have a phone and you're looking at it during a test, and that also goes for notes or communicating with anyone, that's just a 0. Okay, that's why we're doing this practice exam, to make sure we understand what's expected. So you cannot have anything like that during the real test. It's going to tell you, these are good tips, so I want you to go through and read these, but it's going to tell you tips on what you need to do during the test. All right, you're going to have to take a photo of yourself. This is very awkward, sorry. Okay, it's good enough for today. You're going to have to show a picture of your ID. That'll work. Now here's the big one, is the environment check. So you'll read through this, but it says you must follow these instructions. Number 1, clear your environment of all materials, so phones, books, notes, everything like that. Those need to be put away. I'm not doing this during this video, but for the real test, you will need to do that. You need to record your desk or table surface in front of you, as well as a quick 360 of your environment. So take your webcam, show your desk or table surface. Obviously mine is a mess and that would not be okay during a real test. But I'm showing the area in front of me. Show your surroundings. You can kind of narrate it if you want to. So I've thoroughly showed what is in front of me. And then I need to do a quick 360 of my environment. I'm just going to show the area around me. Okay. Once I've done that, okay, I didn't record that, but just imagine that I did. Okay, so when it says recording, you're going to show your desk and table surface and all that. Once you have thoroughly shown all that, this is basically the equivalent of if we were taking a real test in a traditional class, you would make sure that your desk was clear before you started taking the test. You're going to show your desk and table surface and all that. Right, I just skipped that. That's not something you need to do. You need to watch your video and make sure that it did show your environment, showed a 360 of your surroundings and all that good stuff. Okay? All right, but it's just making sure that nothing is around you before you take your exam. It's also going to make sure that the webcam is centered on you before you start the test. So right now, I got a thumbs up. I'm good. If I were to point that away from me or to the ceiling, it says your face cannot be detected and it's not going to let you start the test. So just another reminder, you have to be looking at your webcam, and it has to be centered on you when you're taking an exam. All right, so you'll begin the exam. I'm not giving anything away because, again, these are super easy questions. My name's not on the list because I'm a preview, but you will be on there because you're enrolled in the class. All right? That wasn't the best cinematography, but you get the idea. All right? Big thing is make sure, number one, we want to make sure there's no technical issues. Number two, make sure that you record your desk or table surface before you start this. And I did want to walk you through that extra step that you've got to do since we're using Ultra. Download Respondus first. Then click on that link to ACCS Blackboard, and then once you've logged in there, you can access the exam. All right? It's a headache the first time. You'll get the hang of it after that. We have tests every 2 weeks, so you'll just kind of get the hang of it, and you'll know what to do from here on out. All right, if you do have any issues, let me know, and I'll be glad to help. Thanks.